refill. So you need
Yeah,
to
so
be rewarded for that.
the idea would be to take digitally verified refills and instead of basically having a system focused 100% on recycling, start to realize that maybe 20% of the single-use packaging can be done in refill systems like Algramo, Loop, and many of the other brilliant systems and solutions out in the world, and use digitally verified refills as a crediting mechanism within APR schemes. And that can be a major opportunity to lift all boats in the reuse space, anyone that basically has digitally verified refills.
So that's an interesting point, how to stimulate this reuse model. 20% of the products could be reused, you said.
Yeah, the Ellen MacArthur Foundation in a seminal report a couple of years ago did a big study, and they believe that about 20% of single-use products in your average superstore can be done through innovative refill systems like Algramo, Loop, and various other refill systems out there.
Okay, great. You have 30 seconds to make one quote for the world. You can make any statement you want here now.
I think one thing that's really essential for catalyzing upstream innovation is to take startups and bring them together with brands, with retailers, and with everyone across the plastics value chain, and create an opportunity for all of those key actors to come together and promote upstream solutions on a systems level. And if we can do that, I think that's absolutely critical in truly catalyzing upstream innovation and enabling people to think differently about their packaging and put forth the conditions that will get people to embrace and use reuse systems on a widespread scale.
Thanks, Brian, and congrats for your achievement. We really hope that you manage to scale, and then we will be back with you another time.
Thank you so much.
So we have seen the first part of the value chain. We have talked about new business models. Now we've come to the end of the value chain. It's the world of collection and recycling. And we have two best practices from two different parts of the world. One is the Netherlands, and the other one is Africa, Kenya. So I welcome Ionica and Mr. Green Africa. And the first one to open with is Maarten Stolk. He's a business developer from Ionica. And actually, hi Maarten, great that you're here. Ionica made it to the status of being a national Dutch icon for circular economy. So congrats for that. But it's also an example of the relatively new developments of chemical recycling. So what's Ionica doing and what makes it so special? And I believe you will also do a voiceover of a video.
That is correct. Let me see what we have. So Ionica stands for basically a new technical solution to treat all kind of PET waste material and to bring that back into a virgin-like monomer. The current system still enables a lot of PET wastes. These can be colored, can be multi-layer trays, as well as polyester textiles. And our technology enables basically bringing that waste back into a material that can be used for your soda bottle. That is what we do.
So, and can you tell a little bit more about the input material, but also the output market, the quality of the material you make?
Yeah, sure. The whole technology is based on tackling a broad range of materials. We currently have a 10 kiloton facility in the Netherlands where we treat basically the side stream from the current mechanical recycling. So these are mainly color rejects. And we bring that basically up to a material that is a white powder. We call it the monomer. And that can be basically brought back into the value chain as a PET, where we address mainly the market for recycling companies as well as PET manufacturers. So that is basically our unique technology. And I think what makes us special in that sense is that we are the first one operating something like this, which is quite important to showcase the impact, as was mentioned also by Brian in the past session, because at the end, everybody wants to know what is your impact, and that's only doable by scaling.
Yeah, thanks, Maarten. For me, what I find special for you is that you managed to make to close the loop with a material that can't be recycled mechanically and have really virgin-like quality again. We turn to another change maker, Mr. Kieran Smith. And Kieran is operating quite another geographical reality. Kieran, you close the loop in a continent which is under-regulated, and a key role of your success is also working with the informal sector. So we're really curious to know what's behind your model and how it can scale also in other countries. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to meet you all, and pleasure to be here. As mentioned, I'm Kieran Smith. I'm co-founder and CEO of Mr. Green Africa. We're based in Nairobi, Kenya. And we've been able to develop a business model back in 2014 when not many people were talking about circular economy and plastic recycling as we are talking about it today. But really, in the essence of Mr. Green Africa, it's really about redefining plastics from waste to value and making a localized circular economy in emerging market commonplace. Yeah? And so this is really how we set up, and the main driving forces on how we do that is from a tech perspective, using the latest and newest technologies from a software perspective, but also from a hardware perspective that allows us to do what we're doing efficiently and at scale. And then the second element, the key driving force, is really doing it fair, doing it inclusive, and doing it local. And what this means is literally from an inclusive perspective, you can think of the fair trade model that you see in banana, tea, and coffee industries, where smallholder farmers get integrated into the value chains that get fairer prices and more transparent prices. This concept we have applied in our waste value chain in the emerging market context, where our smallholder farmers are waste pickers or reclaimers that harvest every day. And so doing that in a transparent and a scalable way is one key element to do it fair and inclusive. But the other element to do that is also around the entire, so really creating the highest possible value addition in Kenya and for Kenya.
So it's also this working with the informal sector and focusing on quality. I think we have seen that from other speakers as well. I will be certainly back with you very soon. But first I start with Maarten, and the discussion I want to focus on three aspects, which is collaboration, climate impact, please, and also what's needed to scale similar effects. Maarten, I start with you. Recycling is normally caught in the middle. You're dependent on an input market and an output market, and you also need access to financing. Can you tell us something about collaboration to get started and the importance of collaboration in your case?
Yeah, I think it's for the recycling business, for innovative technologies as ours, it's challenging. It was also mentioned already by Crystal. The most essential part is getting your hands on actual raw material and understanding the market in such a way that you can build a business case for the technology that you want to scale. For that, yeah, you need the partners from the market, you need insights, you need to collaborate, and you need to find the people that are willing and see the promise of a circular economy in an early stage. So I think that is the most challenging part of the partnership is finding the right people that are on the same page with you. And that can be on a very, very big scale, but you can also look at the smaller details on how pragmatic, how do you work together, how do you collaborate?
Can you give examples for the audience of a big one and a small one?
Yeah, I think a big one is how does the corporate look at recycling as such in reporting it in their systems? How important do they find that? I think that is already a very positive way to find the commitment from the senior management and to find the commitment from the corporate to support you. On a smaller scale, it's more on a cultural level. Can you look somebody eye to eye and do you trust them? And do you know what you can expect from the other, even in the hard times? And that is very crucial for a small company, that you know that the other one will support you when it's a bit tough. Let me put it like that.
Is this
because it's not an easy road?
We're in COVID-19 times. Is this a tough time for you and your colleagues in the market?
I think the biggest difficulties that you will have are the moments that you need to scale. And the moments when you need to scale, you need investment. So you need to show, every time you scale, you need to show what your capabilities are. And those are the most crucial parts. So going from R&D to a pilot plant is a very big, important step, which can be rough. And that time, you need to be supported by the right people.
Okay, and a final question for you. Can you state the link with climate impact? How does it work out for Ionica? Can you quantify it or make it understandable for people like me?
Oh, I will try to do my best for all.
In 30 seconds.
let's say we have a PET recycling line. The PET recycling line, PET bottles come in, as Crystal already explained a bit. And during the line, you have losses. The losses that happens during the grinding of your bottle into flakes. These are fines. These normally cannot be treated with all mechanical lines, and you have the things that are sorted out because of the color. And with contaminants on it, like label residues and paper, etc. What we do is we take those materials, we convert the PET fraction that is in. These are still relatively high pure PET streams, but they are not compatible in the current system. And what we do is we convert those streams, which can go up in certain mechanical lines up to 33%, and we close that loop by creating a product that is virgin-like, and you can make food-grade material out of it. That is the most simplest example that I can give. There are also additional benefits, and these are the downcycled materials like trace as well as polyester, which normally cannot be used anymore, and we can also treat them in our systems.
Thanks, Martin. Unfortunately, webinar time is merciless, so we have to continue to Kieran. Thank you for your time, and we'll be hearing more from you. From the Dutch reality, we go to the African reality again. And Kieran, I give you an open question to start with. You know what you're talking about. How can your organization be supported to scale up and have a climate impact? Just an open question. So what would be your pick?
I think, you know, there's definitely multiple elements how organizations and individuals can partner with us. I mean, but I think from an organizational level and brand level, I can make an example what has been really able to drive success and accelerate the ability for us to create a local circular economy. And what we were able to do is basically link with Unilever, one of the big brand owners that are also very active in East Africa and other African countries, and create the first bottle in a home care application made out of 100% local recycled material or recycled plastic.
So in Kenya, 100% recycled.
Exactly, and everything locally collected, locally recycled, and locally made again. And the power that this has to do this locally and to redistribute the value all the way up to the waste pickers or the reclaimers is a proven model.